So today, instead of telling you an embarrassing story, because I can't think of one right now, but I'm sure I will, I'm going to tell you about something that made me upset. I went to this sushi place in where I live, and it advertises itself as fast sushi. And they have these pre-made bentos, which is fine, but every other time I've gone in there, if I there's like this big refrigerator of bentos, and if you walk past that and walk to the counter and order from like a real person, they'll make you a bento. They bring it to your table, you eat it. It's delicious. Because I don't want to eat seafood. It's been sitting out for like an hour, right? Maybe I'm just picky. I mean, I don't know, but I don't want to eat that. So I walk up to the counter and I tell the dude, I'm like, hey, can I get the bento box? And he just kind of stares at me. And then he walks around the counter to the refrigerated bentos, grabs one, walks around the corner and hands it to me. He's like, here you go. That'll be, whatever. I was like, oh, well, can you make me a fresh one? He just stares at me and he's like, what? And I was like, well, can you make me one? I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm sorry. I don't want to eat one that's been sitting out. Maybe I look like a jerk. I don't know. But, fish sitting out. I don't like the rice to be cold and the sushi to be hot. Maybe that's me. Anyway, so he gives me this look. And stink eye. And he just kind of pauses. He's like, well, I made it 45 minutes ago. And in my brain, I was like, oh my God, that fish has been... I was like, And so I just like, I don't know, I just stood there, I guess. I was just kind of in shock because every time I've gone in there, they've always made my food fresh if I ordered at the counter. So he makes my bento fresh. I pay for it. Everything's cool. He's like, number 31 or whatever my number was. So I get the bento and I'm really paranoid about food. Like, one of the things that I feel afraid of is that someone's going to poison me or like mess with my food, because there was this girl who in middle school put a packet of that silica gel, the stuff that you're not, it comes in like chips and stuff. It says do not eat. She put a packet of silica gel in my 7-Up when I was in the bathroom, and I came home and just everybody was looking at me. And so I knew. I threw the soda away. And then I asked like a friend of mine later what was up with that. And on one, in retrospect, maybe that wasn't really a friend of mine because, she didn't tell me about it. But this was also middle school. And middle school is a really hard time for young girls. I don't know if I probably would have said something, but maybe not. I don't know. I wasn't on that end of it. Anyway, so I have this real paranoia of people messing with my food. So I sit down in the restaurant and I look at everything. And I take a peek underneath around the sushi. Everything seems legit. Granted, the sushi roll is kind of like not real tight, like it's a little sloppy, and I was like, whatever, I'm gonna eat it anyway. And then I look at the nigiri, and that's good too. So I take a bite of it, and it has a ton of wasabi on it, like a ton. And what's funny is this guy totally tried to mess with my food in a way that was acceptable. But joke's on him because I love wasabi. So it was the first time since moving to the state I live in now that I didn't have to add a ton of wasabi to my lunch.